Well, hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video, and this is going to be my review of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Wasps? Ant-Man and the Wasp's Quantumania. So Ant-Man 3 is once again directed by Peyton Reed, and it's the third installment of the Ant-Man franchise. In this movie, Scott Lang is loving the fame and the attention for being an Avenger. His daughter Cassie is all grown up because of the 5-year time jump in Avengers Endgame, and because of some quantum tech that she wanted to try out an experiment on. It accidentally sucked all of our main characters into the quantum realm, and eventually they all run into a very important character in the future of the MCU, Kane the Conqueror. I'm actually a big fan of the first Ant-Man movie, and I thought the second one was enjoyable, and a large part of that is really due to Paul Rudd's portrayal as this character. And even at the beginning of this movie, the film opens with him, and you just can't help but smile just by his presence. And you just know that he's just perfect for this role. And with the recent state of the MCU films right now, I pretty much kept my expectations pretty low for this one. And I walked out of this movie thinking it was okay. It was just okay. That's all I have to say. It's definitely not horrible like the reviews that I have been seeing recently, but it's definitely not perfect either. Now let's start off with the positives of this movie, and I think the main reason why this movie is watchable, at least, is because of our main characters. I love Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael Douglas. They all have this good bond together. Like you can tell they're such a fun bunch of people, great sense of humor. Like they're just fun to watch on screen together. It's pretty much the same thing that happened with the first Ant-Man and the second Ant-Man. You just can't help but smile seeing all these characters together. Scott's daughter, Cassie, is played by a new actress because in Endgame, they had another actress, and in this one, they decided to cast Catherine Newton. And to be honest, she was fine. Nothing really special. I would have much preferred if they kept the actress from Endgame for continuity, but I thought Catherine did okay. There was nothing really special, honestly. And the next big surprise that came from this movie is Kane the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors. Wow, what a surprise. What a massive surprise, this guy. I feel like lately, I'm not really expecting lots of great villains in the MCU because lately it's just been like really bland, campy villains. Like, what? But we haven't really gotten a great villain since like Thanos or Wenwu from Shang-Chi. But Kang the Conqueror, man, like this is a welcome return for a great villain, I'm telling you. But I really loved how Kang, you could feel that Kang was very visceral, and you just feel how really powerful this guy is. I've gotten so used to the idea of Marvel villains being so campy that when I saw this guy, I was like, holy shit, like when you see him, you're like, whoa, shit's about to actually go down for real. And this is not really a spoiler because it's actually in the trailer, but Ant-Man actually gets his ass kicked in this movie from Kang. Like, there's a fight scene between the both of them, and like, it's brutal. It's actually a brutal fight scene. Like, Ant-Man is like getting all punched and like getting like bloody and like, whoa, like it was real. You can feel how hard the punches are from Kang. Like, holy shit, like this guy can actually cause some damage to our boy Ant-Man. Like, Kang actually breaks his Ant-Man helmet. Like, wow, that was ballsy from Marvel, I have to say, like to do something like that. And it kind of reminded me a bit of like the fight between Bane and Batman from The Dark Knight Rises, but Marvel version, if you know what I mean. Although I will say, however, that his motivations for what he's doing is still a bit unclear. And I get that he was betrayed and he was banished and all. Now he wants to like conquer and stuff. But we don't really actually know why yet. And I get that maybe in the future movie or TV show, it's going to be revealed. But I don't want this movie to be just a trailer or a setup movie. I want this movie to be able to stand on its own. And that's actually one of the main flaws of this movie. Now let's get into some of the negatives in this movie. And really for that first hour, I was honestly confused on what this movie was really trying to be. It felt like Star Wars, it was like Dune, it was like all these sci-fi stories mashed up into one. But not only that, but it also kind of drags. That first hour does drag. Like the characters, they run into Bill Murray, then they run into this red gooey guy that's obsessed with like holes. Like, what? And then they run into MODOK, who is yeah. No spoilers, but you will know what I'm talking about when you watch the movie. But that first hour is really weird and strange, but once we started to meet Kang, that's when the movie started to pick up for me. Remember back in the day in the MCU when they were able to make great individual solo films, that were able to stand on their own, and then just have that post-credit scene be the little trailer for the next movie. But the problem with this movie is that this entire movie feels like a setup or a trailer. You get what I mean? Like it doesn't feel like a movie that can stand on its own. Like I'm not saying that every old Marvel movie was perfect, Thor: The Dark World, but but movies like the first Ant-Man, Captain America, The Winter Soldier, Thor: Ragnarok, even the Avengers movies, all those movies were able to stand on their own and then just have that little post-credit scene, like kind of like set up the next movie, and that was always so fun. Like you could tell back then that they were more focused on making a great single movie rather than make something that's just, oh, a setup for what's to come in the future, you know? Guys, Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania is not the worst Marvel movie ever, but it's not perfect either. Thankfully, this movie is saved by Jonathan Majors' amazing performance as Kane the Conqueror. It's so refreshing to see a great villain once again. And of course, I love seeing our main characters, Scott, Hope, Hank, and Janet. And with that, I'm gonna give Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania a 6 out of 10. So what did you think of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania? Let me know in the comments, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.